So, I've heard that you want to play like it's the good old days when you were young with your GBA SP right here. Amazing device. But if you don't have it anymore and you want to experience again the incredible feeling of this flip device from Nintendo in 2024, well, search no more. You are at the right place. Here we have the OG Game Boy Advance SP, and here we have a little contender, which is the Powkiddy V90, a very good device, and we will compare them, talk a little bit about the history of the GBA SP, and also mention the new model in the lineup, which is the ANBERNIC RG35XXSP that I don't have here, but I have all the specs and everything, and we will try to define which one is good, which one is the best for you if you want to play the GBA SP in 2024. So let's put this one to the side for now. We will focus on this one, which is my OG Game Boy Advance SP from, well, I don't remember the year about it, but it was a very long time ago. So this device released in 23. It was released for about $99.99 US, which is equivalent to something like $166 by today's standards. And it was released for European at €129.99 euros. So you have two models of this device. If you don't know it, just have to look right here. You can see AGS001. This means that this is the front lit device. As you can see here some lights because it's front lit, and if I push the button you will see no light at all. It has no lighting. And if you have the other model, which is the AGS101, it means you have a mostly American model, but it was also released a little bit in Europe with a backlit screen, which is the same technology that you can find on any device right now. For you to know, it seems like the 001 is a little bit better, because for now, if you want to buy one, because the 101 has a very old screen technology, and even if it's backlit, it's shit. That's about it. So the screen, anyway, either if it's front lit or backlit, it's a 2.9 inch from here to here. So it's a TFT LCD, backlit or not, or front lit. It has a very whopping resolution of 240 by 160, which is quite a lot, joking. It's a 3.2 aspect ratio, which I really like, 60 Hz, nothing crazy about it. Talking about the processor, it's a little bit funny. It's a 16.78 megahertz ARM 732-bit processor. If you know a little bit computing, you should know that this is really not powerful at all. 32 kilobytes of video RAM and 256 kilobytes of RAM. It's really poor specs, but it was 2003, and this device gave us some amazing stories and some amazing time, so it's really a nice thing. So the device was sold from about 2003 to 2008, and it has sold 43.57 million units, which is quite a lot. If I'm talking a little bit about popular games, you can find, of course, this one, which is Pokemon Emerald. You have some other games that I have right here that I really love. You have Zelda Minish Cap, which is just amazing. You have Advance Wars 2, which is also amazing. The one is also very nice. And then you have some more special games like Sword of Mana, which is incredible. And one that I really like, but not a lot of people know it. It's DK King of Swing, which has a gameplay very particular with the L and R button that I find amazing and very refreshing even in 2024. So the good thing about this little bad boy is that you can bring back your Game Boy Color, and more especially your Game Boy Color games or Game Boy only. This is a Game Boy Color game, and as you can see, it's Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, and I can just put it here and I can play my very old games. Another example, Pokemon Blue in this little thing. Never know how to get it out. And as you can see, this is a Game Boy, original Game Boy game. This is a Game Boy Color game. And you can just put it and have the amazing blue color of Pokemon Blue. I have a lot more games like this. If you want me to do a video about all the games that I own and still own, just let me know in the comments below. So that was for the Game Boy Advance SP, the original one. Now we will be talking a little bit about the contender, which is the Powkiddy V90. So this little bad boy, it was introduced, it came out in 2020. It's from the brand Powkiddy. It has an ARM9 CPU, a 3-inch IPS display, so it's a little bit bit longer, but not so much. 2.9 versus 3 inch. It's an IPS display, which is way better than the TFT technology from the original Game Boy Advance SP. It has USB-C charging capability right here. It has a jack, and it's a 320 by 240 screen. Talking a little bit about the design and the build quality, this of course was built like a tank. This has now what, 21 years old? Fuck, 21 years old, and it's still in a brand new condition. Also, I was very keen with it. I really liked what I got. Just this is awful, but I put it back in the day, so I will keep it like this. If you like it, put it in the comment. So this was built like a tank. This, on the contrary, feels like very cheap plastic. Feels very, very cheap, but it's also not so expensive and quite cheap, so it's kind of okay. I don't like the fact that you have L2 buttons. It's for playing PSP and PS1, but I never play PSP and PS1. I bought this to play Game Boy Advance. Talking a little bit about the clamshell design, same. This, I don't think it was metal axles. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. I think it's plastic, but it holds up pretty well. You can put it in any position. Just here you achieve this position, it goes back like this. On the Powkiddy, you can also achieve any position, and here you have the king. But talking a little bit about the ANBERNIC, I think it has metal axles that are better than this, but I didn't get it in my hand, so I cannot be sure 100%. If ANBERNIC wants to send me one device, so I test it out, feel free to do it. No problem at all. So now talking a little bit about the visibility in the screen. So as you can see, this is IPS screen. It's maybe not the best screen on earth, but you just have to remember, yeah, you press select and then you push the button here and you can adjust the brightness. As you can see, you have a lot of different levels, like in a modern device. Whereas here, as I told you, it's a front lit screen. Here I have the light off, here I have the light on. And as you can see, maybe I will just close my light because you have some reflects for seeing it. But as you can see, the visibility is quite poor. Now it's just talking in French that I don't have the battery is dead on the cartridge. And here, as you can see, the light is on. It's not amazing when you know the recent screen. When you use a recent smartphone, the only thing is if you are in direct sunlight, since it's not a backlit screen, it's a little bit like reading on an ebook, and it's better. Yeah, I tried to recreate it, but you have the reflect from the sun, which is my light. But as you can see, the point goes, of course, to the Powkiddy, and for the ANBERNIC, it's the same technology. It's a recent IPS display, so it should be same as the Powkiddy, even better maybe. Talking a little bit about the buttons, so here you can see you have standard D-pad, which is, I think it feels amazing. Then you have here the brightness, as I showed you. So no brightness or light. Here B and A, the buttons are quite good and are very tactile. If you can hear it, I'm not sure you can hear it. If you can hear it, it's pretty nice. The start select is awesome, and then also here is very good. So I really like the buttons. I didn't show you, but you have here the on-off. On the Powkiddy, well, I don't really like the buttons. They are not so tactile, they are cheap. I mean, it's okay, it does the job, but it's not amazing. One thing I don't really like about the Powkiddy is the on-off button. I have some problem with it. It keeps powering on when I don't want it, and then when I take back the device, it's empty. So that's the problem I have with mine. I bought one for my friend, a yellow one, and it didn't have this problem. And so for longer play sessions, I think this one for my hands is perfect. This one can be you can be a little bit cramped because it's a little bit smaller than the original one, but it's okay for my hands. If you have big hands, I think it may be too small for you. And maybe go for the ANBERNIC one because it's a little bit bigger. The ANBERNIC is about the same size as this one, but a little bigger. So this is the smaller of the three, this is middle, and the ANBERNIC is the biggest one. So the games, here you can play Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy only games. Here you can play the same, but also you can play all the consoles before the PS1. So it's going like NES, PSP, then you have Dreamcast and so on. All this is in here. So for adding new games, if you want to change the game, here you just close it, you put your game out, you take Zelda for example, you put it inside, and then you get like this. It was the old way. Now the new way, if I'm in a game and I want to quit, it's not the sexiest thing. I put another OS on this. It's not the standard OS that came from it. You push top, you push exit GB blah blah. Then you have all the games that you want to play. For example, if I want to play and just click like this, and here we go. We are on Pokemon My Ass. Sorry for this. Can I do I have a play? Yes, I have a play on Pokemon My Ass. As you can see, playing quite well. If you like jokes, I will not comment on this. Anyway, now I can just go back and I can change also the console I want to emulate, like this, PS1, SNES, and I deleted some because I know I will not play some gaming console on here. It's mainly for GB and GBA for me. So talking a little bit about the price, well, it depends, but you can have it maybe for as low as $30. You can also find it on 50, maybe 45 on Amazon. This one is not sold anymore, of course, but you can have used ones on second-hand websites, or you can buy some renewed one, I think, on Amazon. I will put the link in the video description for about $150, something like that. So it's not cheap. And you have another option is to buy one that is used or something like this and to mod it. So you change all the things. You can change the screen and put a brand new technology screen, which is amazing. You can do a lot of stuff. And then you have the option of the ANBERNIC one, which I don't have here. It goes from, I think, 65 to 80, 90. I think on Amazon it's 90. And so for adding new games on here, it's quite easy. I showed you how to change games, but if you want to add more games, you have a SD card here and you put your games inside. The games that you owned, of course, you have to own the game to play the ROM. So on the pros and cons, well, I think this one is the original one it's amazing. On all the pros, it's childhood, it's a lot of stuff. The buttons are amazing, the things are amazing. The cons, the screen is horrible, really. It's horrible. I don't know how we played it like this. It's definitely playable, but when you are accustomed to new screens, this is horrible. The fact that you need to change physically the games and when you are somewhere you need to bring the games, they are not so big, but they are bigger than DS and Switch and so on. So it's a little bit of a pain. And what's more, it's not USB-C, it's a good old proprietary cable. So that's about it for this. And this one, the pros of all the games on an SD card, which is 128 here. So I have literally all the games that were ever sold on GBA SP and a lot of other consoles too. I have a IPS screen, which is maybe not the best in the world, but it's still amazing. The downside, the build quality, not so good. The buttons, not so good. The fact that you have L2, I don't care about this. This is not so good. The power button, I have problem with it. And the battery doesn't last long, but you can change it. And it's a Nokia battery, so it's literally costing you nothing at all. And on the pros, I didn't speak about it, but the fact that everything is accessible. For example, I need to replace the battery. I just do this, boom. I need to replace the SD card, just do this, boom. So it's quite nice. In the end, my personal recommendation, if you want to play GBA SP games, like in the good old days, if you're on a budget, just go for the Powkiddy V90. It's very, very good for the price. You cannot beat it. For 45, even less dollars or euros, it's just amazing. If you have all the money in the world, you can buy a used one and mod it, or you can just buy a modded one right off the shelf with modern screen, everything, and you will have the original experience. And even I think you can buy this with an SD card inside and you can put all the ROMs that you want and don't have the problem of changing games like this. And then you have the third option, which is the ANBERNIC RG35XXSP, which is a very easy name as you can see to remember. And this one is about $18 to $19, something like this. And I think it's right, it fits right in the middle. If you have the money for the middle one, go for the middle one. If you want the best experience in the world, go for the original experience modded. And if you are on a very, very tight budget, go in the streets. Maybe someone will sell you this one in a very bad condition for about $5 if you find it. And then you will still be able to play if it's still working. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I let you with a suggestion of other of my videos from Tech and Bags. I'm your deft guide to smarter stuff. So see you in the next one. Bye bye.